Certain vegetables, when consumed incorrectly, worsen diabetes and even cause inflammation and pain throughout the body. In this video, I'll tell you which dangerous vegetables are harming you, and, most importantly, I'll show you how to prepare them correctly so you can enjoy their benefits without putting your health at risk. And be careful. The last vegetable on the list is one of the most consumed, but it is a poison in disguise if it is not consumed correctly. 1. Potatoes, especially potatoes, are one of the most consumed vegetables in the world, whether in boiled, fried, or roasted form. However, for diabetics, it can become a real villain. Rich in simple carbohydrates, potatoes quickly transform into glucose in the body. This means that shortly after consuming it, blood sugar levels can skyrocket, causing glucose spikes dangerous. This abrupt increase in blood sugar can completely disrupt diabetes control, especially in people who already have difficulty keeping their blood sugar levels stable. Furthermore, frequent consumption of potatoes without careful preparation can lead to increased insulin resistance, further complicating diabetes. Joint inflammation and chronic pain are other problems associated with excessive consumption of simple carbohydrates, such as those present in potatoes, especially when fried or overcooked. A very common mistake is to consume French fries, which in addition to increasing the content of quickly absorbable carbohydrates, are loaded with bad oils, which worsens the risk of inflammation. Another mistake is cooking potatoes for too long, which raises the glycemic index and causes the body to quickly process them as pure sugar. The best way to consume potatoes is by roasting them in their skins, in moderate portions, and combining them with a good amount of fiber, such as green salads, and proteins, such as grilled chicken. This way, carbohydrate absorption is slower, avoiding blood sugar spikes. 2. Corn is considered a nutritious food by many, but for those with diabetes, it should be consumed with extreme caution. This is because corn is rich in starch, which is quickly converted into glucose in the body. Although it has some valuable nutrients such as fiber and vitamins, the starch contained in corn can cause glycemic spikes, destabilizing blood glucose levels. For people who already have insulin resistance, frequent consumption of corn can worsen the condition, leading to muscle pain, fluid retention, and cramps. This happens because the body has to work harder to process the excess sugar resulting from eating starchy foods. One of the biggest mistakes is consuming popcorn with excess oil and salt, which not only increases the glycemic load, but also adds bad fats and excess sodium. Another common mistake is consuming cooked corn without adequate protein or fiber, which makes the absorption of starch faster and dangerous for diabetics. For those who don't want to give up corn, the ideal is to consume it in small portions, preferably cooked with fiber-rich vegetables or in salads. Avoid adding excess butter or salt, and if possible, combine corn with lean proteins, such as fish or eggs, to reduce glycemic impacts. 3. Carrot. Many see carrots as a superfood, rich in beta-carotene and excellent for vision and skin. However, the cooked carrot, it may be a hidden enemy of diabetic. When cooked, its glycemic index increases drastically, which means it is absorbed by the body much faster, raising blood glucose levels. For those suffering from diabetes, this increase can be dangerous, as it triggers sugar spikes, which not only impair disease control but can also lead to chronic inflammation in the body. Inflammation, in turn, contributes to joint pain and can aggravate conditions such as diabetic neuropathy, a common complication among diabetics that affects peripheral nerves. A common mistake is to cook carrots for long periods or use them in juices, which concentrates the vegetable's natural sugar. This quickly increases blood glucose levels, especially when carrots are consumed alone, without fiber or protein. The ideal is to consume carrots raw, in salads, or lightly cooked, combined with other vegetables rich in fiber. Another option is to consume them together with lean proteins, which helps to slow down the absorption of sugar by the body. Avoid using carrots in juices or purees, where the sugar concentration is higher and more dangerous for those with diabetes. 4. Pumpkin is widely used in various recipes, especially in pureed or roasted form. Although it is a nutritious vegetable, rich in vitamins and fiber, the high starch content pumpkin can be harmful to diabetics if consumed inappropriately. Just like potatoes, pumpkin, when overcooked, can quickly turn to sugar, resulting in glycemic spikes. Frequent and excessive consumption of pumpkin can lead to fluid retention, swelling, and joint pain, especially in the lower limbs. Additionally, for those suffering from type 2 diabetes, the starch in pumpkin can worsen insulin resistance, making controlling the disease even more difficult. A common mistake is to consume pumpkin puree with added butter or sugar, which further increases the glycemic load of the dish. Pumpkins cooked for long periods also release more starch, which increases the risk of uncontrolled glycemic levels. The best way to consume pumpkin is in pieces roasted with natural seasonings, combined with proteins and green leaves rich in fiber. This helps balance digestion and avoid glycemic spikes. Furthermore, avoid preparations with sugar or additives that could further increase the impact on blood glucose. 5. Beetroot. Beetroot is famous for its nutritional properties, especially because it is rich in antioxidants and helps with cardiovascular health. However, for those suffering from diabetes, it can be a hidden problem. Although it has many benefits, beetroot has a high natural sugar content, known as sucrose, which can quickly raise blood glucose levels, especially when consumed cooked. For diabetics, frequent and excessive consumption of beetroot can lead to glycemic spikes, resulting in inflammations in the body and contributing to the development of complications related to diabetes, such as neuropathic pain and kidney problems. The most common mistake is to consume beetroot cooked or in juice, which concentrates its sugar content and is quickly absorbed by the body. This causes the glycemic index to rise quickly, impairing glucose control. If you want to keep beets in your diet, the ideal is to consume them in raw salads, combined with vegetables with a low glycemic index and a good amount of fiber, such as spinach or arugula. Another tip is to avoid it in juices, where the sugar concentration is even higher. Prefer to eat it as part of a balanced meal, always with proteins and good fats to slow down the absorption of sugars. 6. Zucchini. Zucchini, in its natural form, is a vegetable with a low glycemic index and is very healthy. The problem arises when it is prepared incorrectly. Frying zucchini or combining it with lots of carbohydrates, like pasta, can turn this healthy vegetable into a problem for diabetics, increasing the calorie content and impacting blood glucose control. Furthermore, when prepared with bad oils or in fried foods, zucchini can contribute to inflammations in the body, which increases the feeling of tiredness and worsens joint pain, common problems in those suffering from diabetes. The biggest mistake is frying zucchini or using it in dishes loaded with carbohydrates and bad fats. When fried, it absorbs large amounts of oil, which in addition to harming metabolic health, increases inflammation and the risk of muscle and joint pain. The best way to prepare zucchini is to roast or grill it without using excessive oil. Combine it with lean proteins such as chicken or fish and fiber-rich vegetables to ensure a healthy meal that doesn't cause your glucose to go out of control. Another great option is to use it in light soups without added saturated fats. 7. Peas are known for being rich in protein and fiber, but at the same time, they have a high carbohydrate content which can be problematic for diabetics. When consumed in large quantities or in preparations rich in fats and starches, peas can cause glycemic spikes, leading to deregulations in blood sugar levels. Although peas are good in small quantities, they need to be consumed with caution, especially by those suffering from type 2 diabetes, to avoid overloading the body with unnecessary carbohydrates. The most common mistake is to consume peas in dishes loaded with other starches or as part of high-calorie stews, which can turn this source of fiber into a trap for glycemic control. The ideal is to consume peas in small portions, combined with other vegetables with a low glycemic index. They work well in salads, light soups, and as a side dish for lean proteins. Avoid adding creamy sauces or a lot of butter, which can increase the calorie and glycemic content of the dish. Now, if you want to transform your diet and take better care of your health, and if you have diabetes, kidney or liver problems, or high blood pressure and are tired of boring recipes, our book is for you. Discover incredible sweet and savory recipes made with simple ingredients that you already have at home. All recipes have been selected to keep your health under control. Don't miss this unique opportunity. For less than $10, you can guarantee your copy, but units at this price are limited. Click on the first comment of this video and get yours now. 8. Chili peppers are a vegetable full of nutrients and antioxidants, but if prepared the wrong way, they can have negative effects on those with diabetes. A common mistake is fry peppers, or prepare them with large amounts of oils or sauces high in fat, which can turn this vegetable into a source of inflammation and make digestion difficult. Furthermore, when combined with foods rich in carbohydrates, peppers can enhance the glycemic impact of the meal. Frying peppers or using them in heavy dishes, such as stuffed with fatty cheeses or processed meats, are preparation methods that can increase inflammation in the body and worsen blood sugar control. The best way to consume peppers is raw, in salads, or lightly grilled, without adding oil. Pair it with lean proteins and green vegetables for a healthy, low glycemic meal. Another tip is to use it in soups or light roasts, where the glycemic impact is minimal. 9. Cassava. Cassava is a root rich in carbohydrates that can be extremely harmful for diabetics. Like potatoes, cassava is full of starch, which quickly turns into glucose in the body. Consuming cassava frequently can cause glucose spikes dangerous, leading to insulin resistance and worsening diabetes. Furthermore, consuming poorly prepared cassava can lead to fluid retention and inflammation in the joints, increasing pain and discomfort in those who already have chronic problems related to diabetes. The biggest mistake is frying cassava, which adds large amounts of saturated fat to the starch. Another mistake is to consume it in large portions, without protein or fiber, accelerating the digestion of carbohydrates and the impact on blood sugar. If you don't want to give up cassava, the ideal is to consume it in small portions, roasted or boiled, always accompanied by vegetables rich in fiber and lean proteins. Avoid fried foods and large amounts of salt or fatty sauces to maintain blood sugar control. Now that you know which vegetables can be harmful when consumed incorrectly, let's discuss how you can make simple adjustments to your diet to keep your diabetes under control, and at the same time continue to enjoy the benefits of these foods. Firstly, it is important to remember that the secret is in balance. Often the problem is not the vegetable itself, but the way it is integrated into the diet and mainly, the portions consumed. Moderation is essential when we talk about foods rich in carbohydrates, such as potatoes, pumpkin, or cassava. This is because, even though they are natural, they can cause unwanted elevations in blood sugar levels when consumed in excess. The key to maintaining diabetes control is knowing balanced portions of these foods, combining them intelligently with other components of the meal. But what does balance mean? This means that if you are eating a vegetable that is richer in carbohydrates, such as corn or potatoes, it is ideal to combine it with foods that do not have the same glycemic profile. Instead of making a meal based exclusively on a single type of vegetable, opt for more complete compositions. For example, if you're going to eat potatoes, combine them with a serving of lean protein like grilled chicken and a good amount of fiber-rich vegetables like spinach or broccoli. This combination helps balance the glycemic impact of the meal, because the proteins and fiber slow down the absorption of carbohydrates, avoiding glucose spikes. Furthermore, the preparation method is crucial. Have you ever heard that the way you cook your vegetables can directly influence the glycemic index? This happens because the intense heat and prolonged cooking time break down the fibers in vegetables, releasing carbohydrates more quickly into the body. Vegetables that have been cooked for a long time, such as carrots or pumpkin, tend to have a higher glycemic index than their raw or lightly cooked versions. So, to keep the glycemic index lower, prefer to cook the vegetables until cooked so that they still maintain some of their crunch. This, in addition to preserving nutrients, also helps sugar to be absorbed more slowly. Another valuable tip is to variation. Often, when trying to control diabetes, we end up stuck with a restricted list of foods, which can make the diet monotonous. However, diabetes doesn't mean you have to give up flavor or variety. The key is in the rotation of food and the creative use of ingredients that do not cause glucose spikes. For example, if you usually eat potatoes regularly, how about changing it with other less glycemic tubers, such as yams or yams? These foods offer important nutrients and have a lower glycemic impact. The same goes for corn. You can swap it for vegetables like green beans or fresh peas, which have a more balanced carbohydrate and fiber content. Another strategy that can help a lot in controlling diabetes is the inclusion of healthy fats. Often, when trying to avoid carbohydrates, people end up forgetting the importance of including good sources of fat in their diet. Foods like avocado, olive oil, and chia seeds are examples of healthy fats that can help stabilize blood sugar levels. This happens because fats, as well as fiber and proteins, also help slow the digestion and absorption of carbohydrates. Additionally, these fats may have anti-inflammatory effects, which is an added benefit for diabetes sufferers, as chronic inflammation is one of the most common complications of the disease. And while we're talking about inflammation, it's worth highlighting the importance of seasonings and spices in your diet. Often, when preparing vegetables, we end up resorting to industrialized seasonings, full of sodium and additives, which can increase fluid retention and worsen joint pain. Instead, opt for natural seasonings like turmeric, ginger, garlic, and onion, which not only enhance the flavor of your food, but also offer proven anti-inflammatory benefits. Using these spices can help reduce discomfort caused by inflammation, while improving the flavor of your food without the need to add large amounts of salt or fat. Another fundamental tip is pay attention to the drinks that accompany your meals. We often focus so much on food that we forget that drinks can also have a big impact on blood sugar levels. Avoiding processed juices and soft drinks is a basic rule, but even natural juices can be problematic. For example, fruit juices, even if made at home, contain a large amount of sugar and are quickly absorbed by the body. The best choice is always water or unsweetened teas, which hydrate and do not add calories or glucose to your meal. In addition to these tips, it is always important to remember that there is no single approach that works for all diabetics. Each body reacts differently to certain foods, and what may work for one person may not be the best solution for another. Therefore, it is essential that you observe how your body reacts to different vegetables and preparation methods. Keeping a food diary can be a good idea to keep track of what you eat and how it affects your glucose levels. This way, you can identify patterns and make adjustments to your diet more precisely. Finally, we cannot forget the role of physical exercises. Although the focus of this video is nutrition, it is worth reinforcing that regular physical activity is one of the best ways to improve insulin sensitivity and keep glucose levels under control. If you consume a vegetable that can raise your glucose, a little light exercise like walking can help your body process the sugar more efficiently. Now that you know all these strategies, you're ready to make more conscious food choices and continue enjoying vegetables without compromising your health. Finally, I want to hear from you. Which of these vegetables do you consume most on a daily basis? Have you noticed any effect on your diabetes control when consuming these foods? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story can help others who are also looking for ways to improve their health. I'm leaving here on your screen a video about 4 drinks that help stabilize blood sugar and bring more energy into your daily life. Click on the video now and watch. I'll see you there.